Hello and welcome to Basic Hale. Today is the 26th of January 2025. Because of globalization, what happens where you are can affect thousands of people thousands of miles away. In this video, I would like to explore how the recent executive orders of President Donald Trump could affect global health. The first one is the withdrawal from the World Health Organization. Anecdotal evidence suggests that Mr. Trump exclaimed gleefully, "Ooh, this is a big one," before signing the executive order to withdraw from the World Health Organization. This is not the first time that Mr. Trump tried to pull the United States out of the Global Health Organization, but the chances of success are higher this time because he started the process on day one of his second term in office. If this pullout becomes reality, the World Health Organization may lose up to 15% of its funding. And as a result of that, critical health work such as the Global Polio Eradication Program and emergency responses to diseases such as Marburg virus, avian flu virus, and malaria may suffer reduced funding, just perpetuating the misery of people caught in the middle for a bit longer. The second executive order with global health consequences is the withdrawal from the Paris Accord on climate change. Again, this is not the first time that Mr. Trump withdrew from the accord. He succeeded the first time, so we can assume that he will also succeed this time. But how does this affect global health? You see, in terms of global CO2 emissions, that contributes to climate change, the United States is number 2 after China. Numerous research studies have shown how the triple planetary crisis negatively impacts the health of people. Even when the US was still part of the Paris Accord, it was difficult for the Conference of the Parties to agree on how to tackle climate change. If one of the nations that causes the biggest amount of pollution and contributes to climate change, aka the United States, withdraws from participating in the solution, the problem becomes impossible to solve. Because whatever solutions are agreed upon by the other parties, they will be undermined by the United States because it is not doing its part in reducing pollution. It is very clear that this will happen because this executive order to withdraw from the Paris Accord is closely linked to another executive order to revoke an existing executive order, that is Executive Order number 13990 of January 2021. This order, revoked by Mr. Trump, was put in place to protect public health and the environment and to restore science to tackle climate crisis. But Mr. Trump has decided to cancel it. The revocation could mean that the current US administration does not believe in scientific knowledge on climate change and the solutions that science can provide. Hence, the problem cannot be solved. In case you're wondering if the world has ever agreed on a solution to a global health problem, I say, do you remember the ozone layer depletion in the South Pole? Well, you don't hear about it anymore because it is repairing itself. But this self-repair is only possible because the entire world adopted the Montreal Protocol in 1987 to stop producing chlorofluorocarbons and other substances that depletes the ozone layer. The third and last executive order with global health consequences is a stoppage of foreign aid for 90 days. Hopefully the aid will resume, but that is to be determined. What is known, however, is that health researchers within the United States are complaining that research grants from the National Institute of Health are not being approved anymore, meaning that research work must halt. It is reasonable to assume that this will spill over to researchers funded by the National Institute of Health in many other parts of the world. Health research has many purposes, the biggest of which is to discover and create solutions to human health problems. It takes more than a decade on average for research discoveries to be implemented practically in healthcare services. Some of the reasons for this long time lag between discovery and translation into real-world use cases is because of regulatory approvals and clinical trials. both of which are necessary to protect the public. But if research is halted for any length of time, human misery will go on for probably much longer. Thank you for watching. This is Basic Hale.